Medical science has long treated severe limb loss as a permanent physical limit. But in biology labs right now, researchers are figuring out how to prompt the human body to regrow complex tissue entirely on its own. Over 1 million times a year, a human amputation results in a mechanical replacement. We rely on metal, plastic, and carbon fiber to stand in for biology. Meanwhile, other animals solve this problem naturally. If a Mexican axolotl loses a leg to a predator, it bypasses scar tissue entirely. It rebuilds the bone, layers the muscle, and wires the nerve endings back together from scratch. You might expect these animals to carry exotic, alien DNA, but look closely at their genetic blueprint and you find the exact same master switch genes, SP6 and SP8, inside your own cells. The divergence happens after birth. Our bodies permanently silence these genes, prioritizing rapid scar tissue over complex rebuilding. We have the biological hardware to regenerate. Our software simply has the volume turned way down, and scientists are now finding ways to override those settings. To trace exactly where mammalian biology gets stuck, researchers from 3 different labs set up a comparative study. They tracked the healing processes of 3 distinct organisms: axolotls, zebrafish, and mice. Mammals do retain a tiny bit of residual regenerative power. A house mouse, much like a human, can slowly regrow the very tip of a severed digit, provided the nail bed remains intact. The researchers needed to test what happens when the master genetic switches are removed. Using CRISPR editing technology, they deleted the SP8 gene in the axolotl. Without it, the salamander completely lost its ability to regenerate bone. But when they removed those same genes in the mice, the result was far worse than a simple failure to heal. The mammalian amputation site triggered a chaotic, runaway inflammatory response. A panicked immune system deployed an alarm molecule that summoned osteoclasts. These are highly aggressive bone-eating cells. Instead of forming a neat stump, these cells swarmed the amputation site and began to aggressively chew away the remaining healthy tissue. Mammals do not quietly accept an injury. Without the right genetic instructions to build, our biological software actively destroys the biological foundation itself. To regrow a limb, you have to stop that internal demolition first. For a biological workaround, the team turned to the zebrafish, another animal known to easily rebuild lost fins and heart tissue. Hidden deep within fish DNA are specialized sequences called enhancers. You can think of them as biological spark plugs designed specifically to ignite the regeneration sequence. The researchers isolated one of these fish enhancers, packed it inside a customized virus, and delivered it directly into the wounds of the amputated mice. The cross-species delivery worked. The virus activated a crucial growth molecule called FGF8 right at the injury. This biological payload physically blocked those bone-eating osteoclasts, allowing the tissue to stabilize and new bone to start forming. By borrowing a piece of code from a fish, researchers successfully hacked the mammalian genome, overriding the aggressive immune response to force bone growth. Fixing the DNA at a localized wound site is only the first step. Rebuilding an intricate structure like a human arm requires a massive, coordinated effort from the whole organism. A parallel study out of Harvard University recently looked at how the axolotl handles severe trauma, finding the animal reacts on a much larger scale. An amputation sends an immediate alarm throughout the animal's body. Signals shoot to the brain and activate distant stem cells via the sympathetic nervous system. Because humans possess this exact same fight-or-flight network, the biological highways for full-body regeneration are already mapped inside us. Since the nervous system primes the body for healing, clinical success depends on a synchronized effort. Doctors will need to use these neurological triggers to prepare the whole body, while bioengineered scaffolds provide the exact physical framework for new cellular tissue to grow into the missing space. The path to regrowing human limbs lies in reactivating an ancient genetic program our species has carried, but silenced for millions of years. If you want to keep tracking the latest breakthroughs in biotechnology and genetics, so hit the like button and subscribe today.